I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Friday, October the 17th, 2014. U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry stressed the importance of peace between Israel and the Palestinians. During remarks he made yesterday at a White House ceremony marking the Muslim festival of Eid al-Adha, Kerry said, "I think that it is more critical than ever that we be fighting for peace." He said it was imperative to have a compromise to find a way to create two states that can live together side by side, two peoples with both of their aspirations being respected. Kerry added, "I still believe that's possible, and I still believe we need to work towards it." The Secretary of State also called for the parties to return to the negotiating table while visiting the Middle East region, including the Gaza Reconstruction Conference in Cairo this past Sunday. During his comments yesterday, Kerry also suggested that there was a link between the ongoing Israeli-Palestinian conflict and recruitment for the Islamic State. He said, "There wasn't a leader I met with in the region who didn't raise with me spontaneously the need to try to get peace between Israel and the Palestinians because it was a cause of recruitment and of street anger and agitation." Several members of Israel's Knesset criticized Kerry's linking these issues, that it reflects a deep lack of understanding of the Middle East. The IDF is investigating the shooting death of a Palestinian boy last night in the West Bank. 13-year-old Teisha Bader was reportedly shot by IDF soldiers while he was throwing firebombs at them near Ramallah. An Israeli military spokeswoman told the Palestinian Ma'an news agency that the firebomb posed a direct threat to the lives of the soldiers and that they responded with live fire. She said there would be a military-police investigation into the incident. The Times of Israel reports that Spain may be the next country to vote on recognizing a Palestinian state outside of peace negotiations. Citing the English Al Arabiya news site, which reported that Spain will soon follow in the footsteps of British lawmakers who earlier this week voted in 274 to 12 in favor of a Palestinian state. And while that vote is non-binding and will likely not affect British government policy, its symbolic support has been cause for concern. As we reported to you, Israel, as well as many Jewish organizations, criticized the UK vote, saying it suggests to the Palestinians that negotiations with Israel are not needed and ultimately undermine any real chance for peace. The U.S. Holocaust Memorial Museum in Washington, D.C. now has a small display of photos smuggled out of Syria. The horrific images of victims of Syria's bloody civil war went on display Wednesday at the museum in an exhibit entitled "Genocide: The Threat Continues." The director of the museum's Center for the Prevention of Genocide, Cameron Hudson, said it was important to remember that genocide didn't end with the Holocaust. The Jewish Daily Forward reports that Hebrew Institute of Riverdale Rabbi Avi Weiss will step down from the pulpit next summer. Weiss made the announcement yesterday during Simchat Torah services, where he said he is not retiring but will serve as rabbi in residence at the synagogue, which he calls the Beit, Hebrew for the home. Weiss is known as religiously progressive, who has championed and pushed for greater roles for women within Orthodox Judaism. He told his congregants, "For years I have considered myself the most blessed rabbi in America. I am the most blessed because of you." He said, "There is no congregation like here at the Beit. Whatever we have been able to achieve is yours." Jewish leaders came together this week to address the upcoming Metropolitan Opera's production of controversial opera The Death of Klinghoffer, which is set to debut this Monday, October the 20th at Lincoln Center. The opera tells the story of the 1985 hijacking of the Italian cruise ship Achille Lauro by 4 Palestinian Liberation Front terrorists and their murder of wheelchair-bound American Jew Leon Klinghoffer. Many in the Jewish community have expressed their concern and outrage at the opera, which they say seeks to justify or even glorify terrorism. Speakers at the teach-in on the issue, which took place at the Walter Reed Theater at Lincoln Center in New York City this past Tuesday night, included Executive Director of the Institute for the Study of Global Anti-Semitism and Policy, or ISGAP, who organized the teach-in, Charles Small, as well as writer and professor emerita at City University of New York, Dr. Phyllis Chesler, and senior online editor at Commentary Magazine, Jonathan Tobin, who told the audience that it is important the Met hear their message loud and clear. He said, "We don't shut up. We don't go along with Met Opera director Peter Gelb, who said that we would be encouraging anti-Semitism by demonstrating." Protests against the opera have been ongoing, the largest of which is planned for Monday night at 6, opening night of the performance. And JBS was at the Tuesday night teach-in, and we will air that program tonight at 8 o'clock and again at 1:30 a.m. Tomorrow night, Saturday at 7 p.m., Sunday night at 8 p.m. and 1:30 a.m., and Monday afternoon at 1:30. And that's the JBS News Update for Friday, October the 17th, 2014. Remember, live Shabbat services are coming up tonight at 6 from New York City's Central Synagogue. I'm Teisha Bader. Shabbat Shalom.